Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for being here for the December. It is already December of 2025. What is going on, right? So it's the Veterans Whiskey Club. We do this on the first Saturday of the month every month. This is the first Saturday of December. It is December 6th, and we're representing the Veterans Whiskey Club. If you guys don't know about the Veterans Whiskey Club, they are underneath the company Warriors and Whiskey. The link to the Warriors and Whiskey website is in the chat, where you can get a coin, a challenge coin from them. You can buy some of their brand of whiskey, Brass and Anchor. But also on Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that, they have their groups. The Veterans Whiskey Club is their Facebook group. There's like 40,000 veterans worldwide on there. So if you are a veteran, or if you know a veteran who needs a group of like-minded individuals, people to drink with, people to hang out with, that kind of a thing, let them know about the Veterans Whiskey Club. And also let them know about this live stream. If one of your friends is a veteran who likes to drink whiskey and they don't have people to hang out with and drink with, that's one of the reasons why we're drinking together online, is that there's thousands of miles and other obstacles that prevent us from being able to drink together. And one of those things is drinking and driving. I'm a big advocate against drinking and driving. And so don't drink and drive. Just jump online and have some drinks with us. We're going to pour up some whiskey. But first, let me let you know what else is going on here. I already put the link in the chat. And so if you're watching this live and not on a replay, if you're watching live, there's a link in the chat for you to join on the panel, like on screen. You can jump on and have some drinks, tell some war stories, and you can be right here. And hold on a second. I gotta pin the link to the top. We forgot about that. All right, so pinning the link to the top. The reason why I pin the link to the top is as the chat scrolls, that link that I put in there might get lost. And so if I pin it to the top, if you just join like 10 minutes from now, you'll still see it in the chat. Speaking of the chat, James Morgan is in the house from across the pond. Yeah, the Tropical Peaches is nothing to mess with, man. It is my favorite American single malt of all time, and it is my whiskey of the year. If your whiskey of the year list includes single barrels, a lot of people do not include single barrels in the whiskey of their whiskey of the list. Like people that do whiskey enthusiasts that do online content and stuff, they usually don't include single barrels because those are only available like to a small group of people. Most single barrels only have like 150 to 200 bottles or something like that. And so, but if I was to include single barrels in my list, that'd definitely be number one for me. Dennis is in the house. Eric's here. Dave's here. It's good to see all you guys. What's up, Tim? Eric again. Gerald is here. Rob, the shit show supervisor. Thanks for being here. Guys, we've got a great show for you guys tonight because, like I said, it is the month of December. There is a lot of military history stuff in the month of December. I have found some great videos to share with you guys, and I got some whiskey to drink with you guys. If you guys don't know, the whiskey of the month, the featured veteran-owned whiskey of the month is from Hotel Tango. Now, this looks like the old school MRE package, rye ready to drink. This is their rye. I have featured their bourbon as whiskey of the month before. Their bourbon is 100 proof, and it is some of that. What would you call it? 95.5 MGP rye. So, if you like that kind of thing, then try this out. Cheers. Now, if you guys don't know about Hotel Tango, I have invited Hotel Tango to be on the show for an interview multiple times. I've yet to hear back from them, but they did send me some bottles of whiskey. And so the Hotel Tango, I think these are usually around 40 to 50 bucks. Like I said, the rye is MGP 95.5 rye. The bourbon is made from somebody else. But if you go to their website, they have themselves listed as being the first combat wounded veteran-owned distillery. And I can appreciate that. So this is the veteran-owned whiskey of the month. Hotel Tango Rye. Cheers. Write that on the board here. All right, the Hotel Tango Rye is the featured veteran whiskey of the month. Is that Sean? Holy guacamole. Sean's in the house.
What's up, buddy? You caught me mid-sip.
It's all
good to see you, man.
Good to see you, too. Do you have any MGP rye?
I do. I have quite a bit.
Well, that is what I'm drinking here with the Hotel Tango rye ready to drink.
Okay. Yeah, so
it's MGP rye, 100 proof.
And I'll grab one that is also veteran owned.
Oh, even better. Joker's in the house. Good to see you.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Russ, good to see you. Ooh, that dude. I like Nashville Barrel Company. What's up, Ben?
How you doing?
How you doing, eh? Hey, forget about it. Here we go.
What can I say?
Cheers. Can't believe it's December. I know it being December already is craziness. Cheers. Broken toe. Yes. Unfortunately, Laura did break her toe. You know how when you stub your toe on something in the middle of the night and it hurts really bad and you're like, I probably fucking broke it, but it's never broken. Yeah, hers, she actually broke hers.
I broke Laura. I broke. Well, I'm not going to show my foot, but anyway, I broke my pinky toe, I guess you would say, on my right foot about 2 years ago. Yeah, good time.
Cheers.
I salute all those who are greater than me. Love you all. Wish you all and wish you all the greatest you can be. Thank you, William.
Cheers, Dennis. Also, cheers, Will. Yes, I'm wearing pants tonight. Good job, me.
That makes one of us.
That's one of it. Yes, pants are optional. Anybody in the chat, if you want to jump on and join us and share any stories that you have along the way throughout this journey, we're going to watch a lot of videos and tell a lot of really good stories. And yes, pants are optional.
All right.
Whiskey is mandatory, though. I'm sick of the snow already. It's supposed to get 3 inches. Good to see you doing your thing. Good to see you, Big Hammy. TP is legit in my top 5 bottles of the tropical peaches. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see you at the Wing Lord story. Yes. So on Thursday night we talked about Wing Lore. They are a group of 4 veterans that started a distillery. That they were all fighter pilots, and I am going to be inviting them onto the show as well. And if I can find one, I will have it featured as the veteran whiskey of the month one of these days.
Nice.
Patrick, good to see you. Brian, cheers. BTM in the house. The greatest common denominator. Okay. So we just talked about the veteran featured whiskey of the month is the Hotel Tango Rye. We are going to move on to honoring the fallen without wasting any more time. I want to have that kind of an upfront thing that we do. What's up, Troy?
Cheers, Troy.
Going, buddy?
We want to honor the fallen before we drink too much, before we start getting a little off the rails. We want to spend some good time honoring the fallen and saying their name, because part of honoring the fallen is telling stories about them so that they're not forgotten, and that's how the ones that went before us that are no longer here stayed unforgotten. And so for the month of December, I'm going to kick it off with some people that I want to throw up on the board and recognize that I served with. And anybody on the panel or in the chat, feel free to put down there anybody that you would like to honor and recognize tonight. I know I live a few miles from Hotel Tango. Well, tell them that I appreciate them sending me whiskey, but I want to have them on the show for an interview. Like my priorities are of that. I invited them on the show and they sent me whiskey, and I appreciate that. But I want to hang out. I want to tell stories. I want to talk.
I didn't know they sourced from Green River.
Cheers, Candy Road. I think their bourbon's from Green River, but their whiskey or their rye is from MGP.
Okay.
What's up, Great Shot? All right, so telling stories about the fallen. On December 7th, Kreklo was a medic of ours on my 4th deployment. A few years later, almost exactly 3 years after we got back from that deployment, he drove down to the beach and took his own life. I don't know what was going on with Kreklo. I had lost touch with him, but
it sucks, man. Sorry to hear it.
He was a funny kid, you know, one of those guys with a quirky personality that you would never think something like that would happen. Then on my buddy Kabash that I was on my 3rd deployment with, he was born in the month of December, so recognize them not just for passing away in the month, but also for being born in the month. That way I get to talk about him twice a year. But my buddy Kabash went out movie style to where he bunkered down and had a shootout, suicide by cop style. I don't know what was going on with him at that time either, but he went out like a Tony Scott movie. Just unfortunate.
Yeah.
And last but not least, my buddy Rankin. Is that you, Ben? Are you ripping aluminum foil or something? All right, so my buddy Rankin was my squad leader during my 2nd deployment, and he had some health complications last year, and he passed away just over a year ago. And I've got video on my phone from like 2.5 years ago when I'm at his house having a barbecue with him and his wife and kids in Fort Knox, Kentucky. So it was shocking and really tough news to hear about Rankin passing away. He was a good friend of mine, and one of the only people that I kept in that much contact with after that many years. But so those are the 3 names that I have that correlate with the month of December. Any of you guys, Washington Whiskey Drinkers United group says hi. Thanks, Big Hammy. If any of you guys in the chat or on the panel have anything that you would like to share, I'm more than happy to put them on the board, raise a glass to your friends or family members. Just scrolling through the chat real quick.
Yeah, I think I'm currently lucky. I don't have anyone this month. I was looking.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you guys in chat and stuff another minute or so. I'm going to get my shot ready for when we raise a glass to the fallen. I have for those that are not here every week, for those that don't know, I have a very particular bottle of personally signed horse soldier in a black bag that I only pour when I'm pouring a glass to the fallen. And I pour it in a shot glass that I picked up in Afghanistan that says Afghanistan on it.
There you
go. Because some of the bases, like, not all bases are created equal when you're talking about a combat environment. Some places are literally just like you sleeping like in your truck or under some plywood stacked with sandbags on top of it with spiders and all kinds of shit crawling on you. And a base not too far down the road will have, like, they put some trailers together and made a PX, and you can go in there and buy Doritos and Diet Coke and get your hair cut by a hot Kyrgyzstanian woman and stuff.
Hey, there you go.
Not all deployments are created equal. I'm telling you that right now.
Raging Cajun put one.
Yeah, Marine Lance Corporal Miles Cody. Thank you. Hey, Raging Cajun, appreciate you, man.
Killed in action in Iraq.
Damn.
Yeah. I put Marine Lance Corporal M. Sebastian. I appreciate you sharing Raging Occasion. Much appreciation. Hey, cheers! All of a sudden, there's a bunch of super chats coming in. Thank you very much, my friend, and I appreciate all you guys being here. I'll jump on here shortly. Roger that. All right. If anybody doesn't have any more names they want to throw up, and if you do come across this later and want to throw up,
there's another one.
Anytime in the chat, I will put the name up. I just want to get as many on there before we raise a glass to them as I can. This month in 2004, my father passed away. U.S. Navy, end of World War II, beginning of Korea. Roger that, Tim. Hey, thanks for sharing, man. There. All right, so I put the names on the board. Appreciate you guys sharing. Yeah, if there's somebody out there, either on the panel or in the chat, if you can start a 10-minute timer, so every 10 minutes we get a reminder to drink water, just like the drill sergeants used to yell out to you, hydrate, drink water. I want that here, so we don't forget that we gotta drink as much water as we're drinking whiskey. Appreciate you, man. All right, so all of you guys that are able to, please raise a glass to those who are no longer with us. A lot of us are where we are today because of what you've done for us and the impact you've had in our life. And you are not truly forgotten as long as we still talk about you and tell your stories. And so, lest we forget, until Valhalla, cheers. Thank you guys for joining in that. Timer is already going. Thank you very much, Eric. Rest in peace to all that we lost and cared for. Absolutely. Never forget. Cheers, Scotty. Good to see you here. Great shot. So after we took the shot and I looked down, I saw this red on my finger. I was like, thinking to myself, did I cut my lip or what? But it's the marker. So had to hit you guys with that light note because
There you go. Yeah.
So like I talked about with my my old medic Kreklo, who took his life a couple years back, just 3 short years after our deployment together. It's a real issue that we have in our community, especially the veteran community, where veterans on average 22 a day take their own life, and to spread that awareness, and also remember that we have to keep bettering ourselves. We do 22 push-ups a day. So right now we're going to knock out 22 in honor of in that recognition of that being a real solid issue. So if you are willing and able, we're going to knock out 22.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. For all of you that were willing and able, I appreciate you doing that with me.
I gotta say, even though I'm only doing this roughly once a month, I'm getting better. I'm getting better at it. I feel like I'm getting better.
That's good.
I feel like I do this more often than once a month.
Well, once a month is better than never.
That's true.
I did 23, Mark.
Oh, you did?
We did 22 last month.
Oh, are we gonna start going back up?
I mean, we got pretty high last time.
Yeah.
Where this fat old man couldn't do it, but
Here's the thing, Troy. I think what
willing to try.
You get to like 46 at one point, I think, something like that. That's too many.
It was in the 30s, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
that's a lot.
I thought we had gotten to 40.
It might have been. It was real close. We did it a long time.
Yeah.
I had to do it in two sittings.
It's for recollection, because I was there the night you guys were in the 40s. It feels like, and it was painful. It was painful.
Yeah.
No, but good stuff. Yeah.
22's enough.
Yeah. 22 is good. 20. It's a good amount.
All right, so we are moving on to what has happened in the month of December in military history, and I'm telling you, there is a lot of stuff that has happened in the month of December. But we've got to start off with the birthday. Because, every time that it's the Navy's birthday or it's the Army's birthday or whatever the case may be, we always start off there. And while this video is playing, I'm going to put a poll in the chat so we can find out how many people are here representing their branches. But I'll tell you what, get ready to be really excited, guys. The month of December is the Space Force's birthday.
Oh!
How old are they?
They are 6 because they started in 2019.
There you go.
So this is a video from last year. They have not put up a video from this year yet. So I found a video that they made last year. So like I said, while this is playing, I'm going to put up a poll so we can vote on what branch we're representing. But to waste no more time.
All hands man your battle stations. All hands man your battle stations. All hands man your battle stations. All hands man your battle stations.
And with that, welcome to United States Space Force News. It has been one busy year for the United States Space Force and a slightly busy year for us here at United States Space Force News. But as the future progresses on into this half a decade of service for our military's newest branch, and as technology has advanced forward as they continue to defend our lines of communication and track our orbital satellites and allow us to stay connected to friends and family this season, let us celebrate and say thank you to the outstanding Guardians who have shown strength, courage, and resilience this last year. We got some exciting new things coming in this next year for the channel as well. We look forward to seeing those new developments, as well as new command positions and new developments within our newest military service branch. Till next time, happy birthday to the United States Space Force this 5th year, and thanks for watching.
So happy birthday, Space Force. We are so glad you're here.
You're still toddlers.
Yeah, appreciate you, Space Force. So what do you guys think of the super high-speed video from the Space Force?
It was okay. Yeah.
It was a little rushed.
How many enlisted people are in Space Force now?
Oh, it's a good... Ben, can you Alexa that?
You're muted, Ben. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't meet you this time.
The U.S. Space Force currently has 9,400 military personnel.
Okay.
They're better than I thought.
Yeah.
Alexa, how many of those enjoy air conditioning?
100%.
I don't have specific information about how many Space Force personnel enjoy air conditioning. Would you like to know more about Space Force facilities or living conditions instead?
No, we're good. Thanks.
No,
Catch you later, Benjamin.
100% is the answer, but
So to be a little more accurate, the enlisted personnel is approximately 4,900, and the officer personnel is 4,400 for 9,400.
They're that even with officers and enlisted. That's wild.
Yeah, that's what Google said.
That is
They got to be a
way
lot
too
like
many
the Air
Chiefs
Force,
signed up
right?
Indians.
I'm telling you, Mark. Yeah.
When you hear
Air Force sends their officers to war. Everybody else sends their enlisted to war.
that is crazy to think about. You know, who's mopping the floor? 50% of your staff is officers. That's crazy.
They're all pilots,
Yeah, but-
man.
Yeah, that's the thing. To do a lot of the stuff in the Space Force or would have been the Air Force, you're going to be pretty high. You're going to, have a pretty decent rank already.
Well, you're going to have a pretty decent degree in like computer
Yeah.
science or something like that. So you guys probably already know in the chat, but I'll say it just for fun. There is a poll in the chat. Please vote, because at the end, there's going to be a winner of which military branch represented the strongest tonight, and it's going to be fun. Also, if I didn't
Go
mention
Marines.
which I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but towards the end of the stream, before we play taps, I'm going to get a roll call. I'm going to call formation, get a roll call, see who's all here watching us live. And if you are here live, you don't have to pay anything. You don't have to say any fancy words. You don't have to race any chickens or dinosaurs or whatever people are racing these days like idiots. I'm just going to put you on the wheel to win a sample of the Hotel Rye that I am drinking tonight as the Veteran Whiskey of the Month.
There you go.
And so far, Navy and Marines are crushing it. They're double the Navy right now.
Let's go.
Air Force, Space Force in third place, and other country militaries are represented, but they are in last place, but they're representing. So I appreciate all you guys from other countries' militaries lineage or served yourselves. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. Absolutely. Okay, so what stands out to you guys as significant military history events in December?
Well, I mean, there's the big one, but
There's the big one, yeah.
There's two big ones, I think. In my opinion, there's two huge ones.
There's obviously the major tracking of Santa Claus.
The big one tomorrow.
Yes. So two of the biggest events in military world of military history in the month of December. Two of the biggest ones are either people are talking about December 7th, which is tomorrow, which is Pearl Harbor Day, which I've got some great stuff to talk about Pearl Harbor Day. You know, the other one that I was thinking that some of you guys were going to get at was either a split between the Battle of the Bulge, because Battle of the Bulge was in December in World War II, but in World War I, there was the Christmas truce on No Man's Land, which is a very famous historical military event where on Christmas Day, they started doing I've got a video for it. And we're going to start with that one only because chronologically that's the one that is first. But I think that's right up there with Pearl Harbor Day and Battle of the Bulge, in my opinion. What do you guys have anything?
You're the local expert.
Yeah.
Does the Boston Tea Party count?
I'll hold my comments.
Was that in December?
I think it's like the 16th or the 18th.
No way.
I mean, if that's true, then that's worth celebrating.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
For show.
For show.
Freaking freedom.
Cheers to tea.
Yeah, remember when we used to, throw out our government?
I was
Throw
going
out
to
our
say,
government for taxes?
Yeah.
compared to what we put up with nowadays, my goodness. Our ancestors would have bitch slapped us by now.
I'm telling you. Yeah, I miss the days when we would just see politicians doing terrible things. But like, you know what? Let's not let these people breathe air anymore.
Yeah, tar and feather them.
Oh, bring back duels.
Yeah.
Bring back duels on the White House lawn, man.
Hashtag bring back duels.
Bill was correct. It's December 16th.
Check out that big brain on Bill.
Check out the big brains on Brad.
There you go. Yeah. Cheers to that. Cheers to freaking Boston Tea Party.
All right, hold on. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything big in the chat. If anybody Dude, I'm gassed. Hey, thanks for doing 22 with us, man. I appreciate you. Using your knees doesn't count. Yes, it does. It's a handicap, but it
I can use my knees.
the bones ache. James Morgan, appreciate you joining us. There needs to be more defensive missiles on satellites. Just saying. A lot of chiefs in that tribe. Yes, absolutely. Butter bars for breakfast. Fuck yeah. Listen here, LT. Go mop the floor. Good for a short snack.
Well, fun fact, my knees hurt too much to use my knees. So
we missed 2 water times. I haven't been watching the chat close enough. If any of you guys on the
I'll
panel
take 2 sips.
don't hesitate to yell out drink water if you see Eric Gunnarson's timer go off. Because I'll miss it. Because I'm too engaged with you guys and the videos. But also everybody vote in the poll.
Another reason why Eric Gunderson should join us on stream for these.
Oh,
true. I agree with
Cheers, Eric.
Take.
Yeah. All right, so this is a big historical military event that happened in the month of December.
As night falls on Christmas Eve, Allied soldiers are surprised by what they are hearing over from the German trenches. Private Frank Sumter is one of the first to recognize what they are singing.
And then we heard the Germans singing Silent Night, Holy Night. Our boys said, let's join in. So we joined in with the song.
The British sentries don't know what to make of what's happening across the narrow no man's land. Private Leslie Walkington was there.
So then we began to pop our heads over the side and jump down quickly in case they shot, but they didn't shoot. And then we saw a German standing up waving his arms and we didn't shoot.
When they met on Christmas Eve, first they were afraid of each other and then they started to talk and shaking hands, and once they did that, it just seemed to be friends.
The British khaki and the German grey are soon gathering, all mingled together.
By Christmas 1914, every soldier knew that the enemy was sharing the same misery as they were.
Both sides are well aware that consorting with the enemy is only one step away from treason, a crime punishable by court-martial and execution. Men on both sides go to sleep that night, wondering if they will wake up the next morning to renewed fighting or a continued effort to defy the war. The fear of punishment is enough to get most of the soldiers back to fighting.
How amazingly difficult it must have been for these people to pick up shooting again, and with any kind of vigor, try and kill people in the opposite trench that they just celebrated Christmas with.
Private Archibald Stanley remembers how his officer put an end to their armistice.
Well, if you're knocking around, this fella come up the next day. He said, "You still got the armistice?" Picked up his rifle and he shot one of the Germans dead.
That's the part of that story that I love, is the heart that it talks about at the end, where they have to get back to fighting, and how hard that must have been after celebrating Christmas.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty wild.
What was my comments?
How eye-opening that everybody suffers.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Including your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I'll just whatever.
No. Like, it's open for discussion.
Share your thought, buddy.
I mean, I think that what that points out more than anything is how much bullshit is involved in what war is. But yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Yep.
All right, I want, if nobody has anything they want to add to that, then I'm going to move on to the next big one, as we call them.
On December 7th, 1941, an Imperial Japanese flotilla suddenly and deliberately attacked the U.S. fleet at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. This surprise attack is a date which lives in infamy and forever changed the history of the world. This is World War II and II. I'm John Curatola at the National World War II Museum in New Orleans. For much of the early 20th century, Japan sought to expand its growing empire. But as it aggressively expanded its domain in the Far East, Japan was met with growing outrage from the international community. In July 1941, President Franklin Roosevelt froze Japanese assets and embargoed materials to the nation, crippling its war-making capabilities. Japan secretly readied its southern operation, targeting Singapore, the Philippines, and Pearl Harbor to clear the way to seize resources in the Dutch East Indies and in other places in the Pacific. In November 1941, an Imperial Japanese strike force called Kido Butai included 6 aircraft carriers with more than 400 aircraft and sortied from Japan to Hawaii. Maintaining radio silence and avoiding the normal shipping channels, Kido Butai moved across the northern Pacific undetected. At 6 a.m. on December 7th, the carriers launched a mix of fighter aircraft, torpedo, and dive bombers more than 200 miles off the Hawaiian coast. As most Americans slowly awoke from their Sunday morning slumber, the American fleet was hit with 2 waves of separate attacks. At 7:55 a.m., the first Japanese wave focused on 9 moored battleships in Pearl Harbor. An hour later, a second wave attacked nearby airfields and other ships in the shallow harbor. Caught by surprise, the Japanese planes sunk 8 battleships, damaged a dozen other smaller vessels, and destroyed 188 aircraft. Over 2,400 Americans were killed in the attack. The physical damage from the raid was surpassed by the emotional toll on the American people. Calls for revenge were quick, and further talk about American neutrality was soon silenced. The day after the attack, Roosevelt asked Congress for a declaration of war against Japan. On December 11th, Nazi Germany declared war on the U.S. in support of their Axis counterpart. The United States was now fully engaged in a war that many had hoped to avoid.
So I'm sure most of you guys will agree with me. Because of the fact, if one of you guys look up how many Medal of Honor recipients from Pearl Harbor attack, there's like 15 or something of people that were there at Pearl Harbor and the actions that they took in response. There's like something like 15 of them that were awarded the Medal of Honor, and like 70% of them were posthumously, right? So I think everybody can agree with me. We need Ridley Scott to do a Pearl Harbor movie the same way that he did Black Hawk Down. Not have it be some weird love triangle fucking dumb shit movie.
Yeah.
Because having a weird love triangle thing being one of the main things going on in the movie was completely missing the point.
Yeah.
Yes.
The way that Ridley... Wait, go ahead, Sean.
Mark, you were almost bang on. 16.
16 different people out on Pearl Harbor were awarded the Medal of Honor after things that they did. See, if they can take each one of those citations, stories from witnesses, and all that stuff, take those, conglomerate those together like Band of Brothers or like Black Hawk Down, and make something that accurately represents the craziness that happened with Pearl Harbor. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, hey,
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
I brought this up.
Spielberg with Band of Brothers. Spielberg, get with Ridley Scott. You guys work something out. I'll schedule a lunch. We'll talk about it.
Could you imagine the guilt that man had to face signing that order that caused that, signing that order for the embargo that caused them to do that?
Yeah. True story. Very true story.
Hey, Mark. I brought this up last December when we did this too. So when I was in the Navy, I was on the USS Nevada submarine. It was named after the USS Nevada battleship. It was the only ship that got underway during Pearl Harbor attack. Captain Don Ross. There's videos about him. He's a Congressional Medal of Honor winner, one of the 16 we mentioned. he was able to get that ship underway, even though he went blind during the attack.
Oh wow!
They beached it to keep the channel open. There's lots of videos. They're longer than what you're used to for this, so check them out on your own. But Captain Don Ross, I met the man in person at the Nevada reunions, and I was part of his burial at sea on the submarine.
Really?
And that video is available as well.
That is really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, there's there's just multiple calls for water.
Yeah.
You just had something.
You got it. I highlighted the last one. Appreciate it, Ben. Sorry. Drink water, everybody.
Sorry, Troy.
That's all right.
No, you don't need to be sorry, Ben, for you were doing what he asked you to do.
Yeah. Hey, Ben Demon, cheers, buddy.
Hold on, Captain Don
Ross.
Don Ross.
There's a considerable number of events in December.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was implying earlier, is that there's a lot of stuff that happened in December. We started off with the No Man's Land peacetime in World War I, went to Pearl Harbor, and next we are going to go to the fall of Hong Kong, which doesn't get enough discussion. And I found a really fun video about it. I'm really excited to share this with you guys.
Okay.
Because it's also from World War II. And so while we're on this World War II, go from Pearl Harbor to fall of Hong Kong, and we'll check out Battle of the Bulge next. If I can figure out how to do basic tasks. There we go.
Fall of Hong Kong, 8th to the 25th of December, 1941. World War II. Hong Kong had been established as a British Crown colony since 1842 after the First Opium War. It consisted of Kowloon on the mainland and Hong Kong Island. This colony in the south coast of China was densely populated by a majority Chinese population and was a symbol of British power in the Far East. Initially, Winston Churchill regarded the territory as an outpost and would not reinforce it against impending attack, and reduced the British garrison there to fight the ongoing war in Europe. From September 1941, he reversed this decision and increased the manpower of the garrison with Commonwealth troops as a military deterrent against the Japanese forces. The 12,000-man garrison, commanded by Major General Christopher Maltby, consisted of the British Army and Commonwealth forces in the form of the Canadian and Indian armies and the Hong Kong Voluntary Defence Corps. A single destroyer and several motor torpedo boats also provided support from the sea. 3 battalions of British and Indian troops were deployed by Maltby along a defensive line north of Kowloon on the leased territories of the Chinese mainland. They were the 2nd Battalion, Royal Scots in the west, the 2nd Battalion, 14th Punjab Regiment in the centre, and the 5th Battalion, 7th Rajput Regiment in the east. Set up in pillboxes and trenches, stretching for 18 kilometers, they would defend the gin drinkers' line, which was believed to be able to hold against the Japanese for several months. While 2 inexperienced Canadian battalions, the Royal Rifles of Canada and the Winnipeg Grenadiers, as well as the British 1st Battalion, Middlesex Regiment, were deployed on Hong Kong Island to the south, defending its beaches. The Japanese forces, led by Lieutenant General Takashi Sakai, had around 52,000 men of the 38th Division of the Japanese 23rd Army at its disposal, therefore outnumbering the British and Commonwealth forces 4-1. Hours after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Japanese launched their attack on Hong Kong from the air, destroying several British aircraft at Kai Tak Airport. The Japanese 38th Infantry Division crossed the Sham Trun River into the leased territories on the mainland. The 3 battalions defended the gin drinkers' line, but it was breached at the high ground of Shingmun Redoubt by the Japanese during the night of the 9th of December. D Company of the Winnipeg Grenadiers was sent to reinforce the mainland defense, but the line could not be held. And by the 11th of December, Maltby started to evacuate the British and Commonwealth troops to Hong Kong Island. with the 5th Rajput Battalion as the rear guard. The Japanese had demanded surrender of the British and Commonwealth defenders, but both requests were rejected. Maltby organized the defending forces into a West Brigade, mainly composed of the brigades that had evacuated and the Winnipeg Grenadiers from the mainland. East Brigade composed of the Royal Rifles of Canada and 2 companies of the Rajput Regiment. The British 1st Battalion, Middlesex Regiment and Hong Kong Defence Corps supplemented both brigades. On the 18th of December, the Japanese landed its forces between North Point and Aldrich Bay. At North Point, the defending Rajput Battalion was virtually wiped out, resisting the Japanese to the end. The East Brigade moved to the Stanley Peninsula in preparation to counterattack, but was without artillery pieces during its withdrawal. The next day, the Japanese army attacked the Wang Nai Chung Gap on the western side, destroying the HQ of West Brigade, resulting in the death of its commander, Brigadier John Kelburn Lawson. The British could not successfully recapture the Wang Nai Chung Gap, therefore the Japanese army had driven a wedge between the defenders, splitting the defense in 2 between the West Brigade and East Brigade, defending the Stanley Peninsula. When the Japanese also captured the reservoir, the British forces' fresh water supply would grow desperate, along with the already dwindling ammunition supplies. On the 25th, Christmas Day, the field hospital at St. Stephen's College was captured by the Japanese forces. Despite surrendering, many of the British and Commonwealth soldiers and medical staff were tortured and killed by the Japanese soldiers. Later in the day, it was clear any further resistance would be futile. After requesting a ceasefire, Maltby surrendered, and the governor of Hong Kong turned the colony to Lieutenant General Takashi Sakai. This day would become known as Black Christmas. Most of the garrison did not escape and became prisoners of war. The attack was in violation of international law, as Japan had not declared war against the British Empire. The British and Commonwealth defenders numbered around 4,400 casualties,
Wow.
while the Japanese casualties numbered around 2,700.
Right.
So, like I was saying, the fall of Hong Kong is an event that happened that does not get talked about enough, because it was a lot of bloody battles for weeks on end. Thinking about soldiers kicking in, the doors of a hospital and, torturing and killing the people in the hospital, that's dirty, man. And 4,400 British and Commonwealth soldiers dying during the fall of Hong Kong. I thought that was a crazy thing that happened in the month of December that doesn't get talked about.
I hadn't heard of that before.
Yeah, and Ben from the north, of course, being a Canadian who is a very well versed in his military history, he knows what's going on. What is up, Darrell? Good to see you, my friend.
Cheers, Darrell. What's up, buddy?
Thanks for being here. Don't forget to drink water.
Mark, I'm not sure if you happened to mention this before, but I just noticed that U.S. National Guard birthday is December 13th, 1636. Celebrates the formation of the first militias in North America.
What?
That's what Google says.
Celebrated the National Guard birthday. I thought it was in June. I might be wrong.
Well, they also might recognize a different start as the official one.
Yeah, the National Guard's birthday is December 13th.
1636 was the first year it was established.
It's been around a minute.
Yep.
No, thank you for bringing that up. We did the Army's birthday in June.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you are right. I'm showing everything that you're saying. And so we got to pause for effect.
That was very interesting.
Yeah. Hold the phone. Shut the fridge door. What the hell is going on around here? Here we go. Boom. Boom. Give a little love to the Army National Guard. 250 years. That was in DC. That fence line. They put that up on the routes that we marched on. They put those fences up.
Well, you might be correct with the 250 with the Army National Guard. The information that I just saw was the official start of it was just called the U.S. National Guard.
Yes. That was the year prior, right?
No, 1636.
1636.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we're going on.
So there was no branches. It was just called the U.S. National Guard.
We're
400 years here in a few years.
We're approaching 300 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotcha. Thanks for looking that up and pointing that out. I always want to give a shout out to the branches when they have their birthdays.
Sure.
When Air Force, Space Force was this month, and we got to see a super high speed video of them earlier. Always a good time. We got to celebrate their birthdays. It's fun. So we're moving on. Things that happened in the month of December. We talked about No Man's Land Christmas truce in World War I. Then we talked about Pearl Harbor Day, as tomorrow is Pearl Harbor Day. And then we went to the fall of Hong Kong. And next we're going to talk about the Battle of the Bulge.
Mark fights that battle every day.
On the 16th of December 1944, the Battle of the Bulge, the last major German offensive on the Western Front of the Second World War, began. Welcome to History Pod. The Ardennes counter-offensive, as it was also known, marked a desperate attempt by the Nazis to turn the tide of the war in their favour. Conceived by Hitler himself, the plan involved a rapid advance through the densely forested Ardennes region between Belgium and Luxembourg. The attackers sought to drive a wedge between the British and American forces, splitting the Allies and capturing the vital Belgian port city of Antwerp. Assisted by a period of bad weather, 3 German armies launched a massive assault on the morning of the 16th of December that caught the Allies completely by surprise. Having targeted a weakly defended section of the Allied line, the Germans made substantial early gains and created a bulge that gave the battle its name. Although the American forces were initially overwhelmed, they went on to display remarkable resilience. The town of Bastogne became a focal point of the conflict as the Germans surrounded it in an attempt to secure a strategic road junction. The 101st Airborne Division fiercely defended the town despite being outnumbered and cut off from the main Allied forces. The battle continued through the harsh winter, with the Allied forces organising a robust defence and counter-attack. General Patton's Third Army played a crucial role in relieving Bastogne, breaking through enemy lines to provide much-needed support. Meanwhile, at Elsenborn Ridge, the 99th Infantry Division slowed down the best-equipped armoured units of the German army. As the winter weather cleared, Allied air superiority became a decisive factor. The Allies launched devastating air attacks, disrupting German supply lines and weakening their forces. By late January 1945, the Germans were forced to retreat, and the Battle of the Bulge concluded as a significant Allied victory.
I love the way Band of Brothers did all that was going on in Europe for World War II. Band of Brothers just did that better than I could even imagine. I've watched that entire thing 4 or 5 times. But big historical moment of World War II, Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
And just now, I'll play that later because it's way out of order chronologically. So the thing I had queued up next, I'm gonna wait and play that more chronologically. We're gonna get into our first Medal of Honor recipients, unless anybody has anything that they want to speak about when it comes to the last couple of videos we've watched when it comes to military history in the month of December.
Tim's got a name for your board.
Nothing I want to say live.
So some older ones, Valley Forge was in December. Washington Crossing in Delaware.
Yeah.
Wounded Knee. Oh, that's later. Those are earlier. I'm not going to skip ahead.
Yeah. I put the only thing that I couldn't keep out of my head in the private chat.
Okay. Good to see you, Bob. Time to hydrate. Yes, hydrate. Stupid. Thanks, Finn. Appreciate you. But yeah, have a glass of water, and we are going to check out this video from a World War II Medal of Honor recipient before we move on to later stuff chronologically.
My father was kind of an artist because he worked on cathedrals and churches and did a lot of gold leaf work. But of course it was on and off. It wasn't a constant job. He passed away when I was about 10 years old, and my mother has struggled to see that all of us were educated. The goal at that time was to have all of the children high school graduates, and my mother took in washing and did all kinds of things to keep the family together.
Inspired by a family friend who'd been a World War I veteran, Robert Nett joined the Connecticut National Guard in 1941. His unit was soon activated, and by the following year was in action in the South Pacific. In December 1944, Nett, whose wife Frances was in the Army Nurse Corps and also serving in the Pacific, was a seasoned combat veteran leading his infantry company against a reinforced Japanese battalion on the island of Leyte in the Philippines. The fighting was hand to hand.
With two platoons going forward, one supporting by fire. And as we moved forward, the NCOs would push Bangalore torpedoes under the barbed wire, blow the barbed wire up. It would create a little ditch as well as blowing the barbed wire up. They'd crawl along the ditch with a flamethrower. They'd gradually, by doing this, we made a foothold into this fortified area. Now, there was one large building that was, it was a municipal building, but they had made it into a blockhouse, reinforced it with concrete. So I asked the forward observer if there was any chance we could get a 105 up and fire point blank from across the river and break through some of the concrete so we'd get flame in there. He did. And during this time, first thing I knew, I was hit in the neck. My jugular vein was just cut and a little blood shot out like the size of a needle point. But I went on, kept going.
I went on. I got shot in the jugular, but I went on.
And as I was going from one squad to the other, I would fire, and occasionally the clip would fly out. That meant last round. And what are you going to do when a Jap jumps up in front of you? Well, we were trained to use the bayonet, and at that moment, the training came back to everyone like clockwork. The adrenaline was running real hard. We were moving, shooting, and no saluting, I guarantee you. As we got close to the final objective, which was this big blockhouse, I started deploying my machine guns and moving them by what we call team echelon, one machine gun team at a time. take up fire and then bring up the other one. And as I was doing that, I turned to signal to my machine gun sergeant to move one of the machine guns. I got shot in the right lung. The right lung collapsed on me. So I did exactly what I was trained to do in commando school, kept going, supervising. We finally got flame into this big bunker, burned out as much as we could. Well, by this time, my feet started getting real heavy, and I knew that I had lost so much blood that was what was happening. So I had the objective secured, and I took one of the lieutenants, put him in charge, and moved on back to the river line.
Although
real men back
previously
then.
wounded 3 times in action, Ned survived. He sees it as his duty to speak for those who did not.
There's been, I believe, 3,220 medals awarded. About 86% are posthumously awarded. So I feel that those that are living and that are capable should be out talking to young people, emphasizing the great honor that's been bestowed upon the individual and what that honor means. When I was honored at the Gulfstream Armory, they read my citation, put the medal around my neck, and then he asked me to take the mic. So at that moment, I said, I accept this honor in the name of all the great soldiers of E Company, 305th Infantry, because they trained hard. They fought exactly the way we trained. When we were successful in combat, it was because of the teamwork, the sincerity of each individual doing his part. I share this honor with all those people because they made it possible. I wish we could have some kind of a oak leaf cluster with Medal of Honor so each one could have part of it.
Oh man,
that was good stuff, man.
Cheers to that, man.
How does that guy walk?
I don't know. He's like, I got shot in the jugular, and some blood was squirting out like a straight line, like a needle. But so I went on, and we went and we took this next part to the next part, put Bangalore's in, created a little ditch hole for us, and then went forward. I got shot in the right lung that collapsed my lung, and so I went forward. We took the next objective, and then I grabbed this lieutenant and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm bleeding out. My feet are getting heavy. You're in charge. Do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm gonna go make sure you don't die." And like, dude, what?
I mean, you got 2 lungs. You don't need them both.
Apparently not.
Come on, that's blackers. What the hell?
Apparently, if your balls are big enough, you can just have one.
That's what I'm saying. Like that dude, damn.
It is water time.
Yeah, what a freaking stud, man. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not making many men like that nowadays.
No. Who is this person?
What's that?
Has he already been dealt with?
Ah, crap. I'll go deal with it.
The Twitch dude.
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
I can't even see him in the.
Yeah, he's on Twitch only, Sean.
Yeah, I have. One night we figured out how to get mod rights on it. I'll take him out.
Yeah, it was a lot of pain in the ass trying to get moderator rights. Well, figuring out how to do moderator rights on Twitch. But we figured it out, and Ben is my bot nuker on Twitch now.
There we go. Good.
Which year is that, Mark?
That's the 20.
Comment deleted.
I just had the 24 minutes ago.
It's so close
gone.
to equals a 23.
Good. Adrenaline goes a long way. Wait, so great shot. You said you're drinking the Heroes?
Yes, sir.
Roger that. Absolutely.
2025 Hero right here.
The 1783 Heroes, all of you guys watching, if you're watching the replay or you're watching us live, if you don't know, if you have not heard that the 1783 Heroes, it's a $20-ish bottle, roughly $20, and it it drinks twice above its price point. Twice.
It's a banger.
You know, one of the best things about the next year, right? Getting through all the holidays and everything.
Yeah.
That means we're coming sooner to the 2026 year.
2026.
Oh,
And
man.
every batch has the veterans from different branches: Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, different branches. It has their pictures and their names. These are the veterans that picked this batch to be the next Heroes batch. Oh, dude, absolutely freaking love it. But without further ado, we are going to get on to not only a Vietnam Medal of Honor recipient, moving down the timeline, but it is a Marine. Because I can't keep it like all Army all day. I got to give some love to some other branches over here and there.
Appreciate that.
And so here is a Marine Medal of Honor recipient who had a very bad day in the month of December in 1965.
8 more crayons than anybody.
On career day in my senior year, all the services come to your high school. And I'll never forget that day. The Air Force recruiter got up and gave his pitch, and there were catcalls and hoots and hollers in the Army and the Navy, the same things. And then the Marine gunny, the recruiter, got up and said, "There's no one in this room that I want in my Marine Corps. Undisciplined, unmotivated." Then he began to chew out the faculty in the back of the room, telling them, "How can you let this happen and all?" And he walked off the stage. Well, needless to say, I was one of the guys that lined up at his desk, and I joined the Marine Corps at that time. I joined the platoon leaders class. And then I, of course, went in an officer program when I got into college. So but he epitomized what I thought of military was all about, and stood up and took charge and made a big impression on this young 18-year-old.
Connecticut native Har.
I want to give that a second because that hits on a deep level to where his school had Air Force, Navy, Army, and Marines all come and do like a career day, like as recruiters. They had a recruiting thing, and there was a lot of people in the crowd because it's a high school being loud and stupid. And when the Marine Corps guy got up there, he chewed out the audience and the faculty for letting such disrespect go on. And this guy was like, "I want to join that guy's branch."
Yep.
Because he has the kind of discipline and forward kind of attitude that I think of when I think of the military.
Harvey Barnum joined the Marine Corps platoon leaders class after high school. Upon completion of college, he was commissioned as Marine Reserve Second Lieutenant. After serving various tours abroad and being promoted to First Lieutenant, Barnum was sent to Vietnam in 1965. On the morning of December 18th, Barnum's company was coming down out of the mountains in Quang Tin Province, just south of Da Nang, as the rear element of a battalion-sized movement.
And as we were coming down through this mountain, I heard some shooting up forward, but didn't think much of it. And just as our company commander was walking across a dike, the North Vietnamese, well, they triggered an ambush. And they were smart. They were well trained. They were well dug in. They let 3 companies go by and in through this village before they triggered the ambush.
Oh, shit.
And when they triggered the ambush on our rear element, they triggered the ambush on the units in the village also. They had done their homework. The initial rounds, they hit the company commander and his radio operator. And needless to say, it's the first time I've been shot at. And I was very prudent. I hit the deck. But when I looked up, and I looked up from underneath my helmet and looked around, I could see all these young Marines' eyes looking at me, and they're saying, "Okay, Lieutenant, what the hell are we going to do?" So at that point, I started giving direction. And the first thing I did is get on the net and call artillery. So anyways, I see my scout sergeant run by me to go out to protect the company commander. And he got shot a couple times as he was going out there. And he set up a base of fire. There was a trench line to our right that we were taking intensive direct machine gun fire from. And then I see the corpsman, Doc West, go running out. Doc West got shot 2 or 3 times before he got to the company commander. So now I've got the company commander down, the radio operator down, my scout sergeant's down, and the chief corpsman is down. So I ran out and picked up Captain Gormley and brought him back into a more covered position. He was hit pretty bad. He was alive. We talked, and he died in my arms. And then I ran out and helped the corpsman back, Doc West. Someone else had gone out to help McLean back, my scout sergeant. And then I realized the company commander just died, and the radio was out there. So I ran out, took the radio off the dead operator, strapped and carried it back, strapped it to myself, got on the phone, called the battalion commander, told him what had happened, and that I was assuming command of the company. And he said, "Young man, it sounds like you have a grasp of the situation. Make sure everyone knows you're the skipper." And so I assumed command of that company, started giving direction. It's amazing, at that point I found out that these young Marines who were pinned down and scared, all they wanted was someone to give them direction. And when I started doing things, they got motivation going. So at that point, I launched a counterattack on that trench line to our right, and that was very successful. And then flying above us was also the task force commander. I heard him say that I'll get some Huey gun support in here. Well, I went up on this knoll, and I fired 3 or 5 rocket launchers at the targets, at machine guns, at trench lines. And the Hueys would come in and they'd hit where I hit.
This game.
Whoa. Uncalled for.
You're not ready.
YouTube, come on.
I ran out of 3 or 5 rocket launchers. And so I was talking to the pilots, and I said, "Okay, you fly down the axis of my arm." And I stood up there with my arms out, and I pointed at the targets, and they flew down the axis of my arms to the target.
What?
And we took out or knocked down the fire on our right flank, so we could move around more. And then we had the enemy behind us, and we were fighting them off, and we were fighting the enemy on our left flank. And we had about 500 meters of of rice paddies between us and the battalion, which was in the village. And the battalion commander finally got on the hook, and he said, "Lieutenant, you've got to come on out. We can't come get you. We're in our own firefight in here. Can't come out and get you. It's getting dark." And he says, "If you don't fight your way out, you're there by yourself tonight." Well, I knew that was a non-starter. Casualties were mounting rapidly. Ammunition was getting low, and the ceiling was closing in on us. And I didn't think our chances were going to be very good if we stayed there. So I had the engineers blow some trees down.
Hell yeah.
To make a landing zone, and I brought in H-34 helicopters to take out the dead and the wounded. Doc West had been shot 5 or 6 times, and he would not let us evacuate him. He was still giving instructions. He was on morphine, but he would not let us evacuate. He was still giving us instructions on how to handle the other cases that were serious. And he was the last one. He would let me put him on a helicopter. So we put him on a helicopter. He got shot for the 7th time.
Oh.
But he lived.
What?
So I got the dead and the wounded out. And I knew we had to go across that open fire-swept ground. And it's near the end of the operation. People are tired, and they'd had just one hell of a day. So I had the engineers, we collected all the unusable equipment that wasn't working, radios, machine guns, whatever, and blew it up to make ourselves light. And then I had everyone drop their packs in a pile, and we burned them. And so to make ourselves light, and I told everybody, when we start out of here, Marines don't leave anybody on the battlefield. Someone drops, you pick them up and bring them with you. So that's the reason I made you light. Then I was thinking back to the old training, fire team rushes, we're gonna go across, by the book. Well, I started this with the 1st platoon, moving across. Well, we've never got across. They set up a base of fire in the village. And then I got on the phone, I said, "Are you ready in the village?" "Ready." And squad by squad, when I said go, they ran. I said, "Run as fast as you can. Don't even stop. The only time you stop is if someone gets shot and you pick them up." So for the next 45 minutes, we broke out. And we made it across there. Brought everybody out.
Wow.
It took us another day and a half to get back. And when I got back, I was relieved of that company, and an infantry officer took over the company. And I stopped in the mess tent to get a cup of coffee. And the battery commander came in and he says, we got the call last night that General Waltz recommended you for the Medal of Honor. I dropped the coffee cup. You know, and I mean, it was just, I mean, I was pretty happy to be alive. Most recipients presented the Medal of Honor at the White House. The White House, under Johnson at that point, did not want to present the medal because they figured it was the wrong time politically. And I was presented it at a Marine ceremony at Marine Barracks, 8th and I, Washington, D.C. It was on the 27th of February, 1967.
And that's kind of cool.
And it was a complete Marine show from the get-go. And Secretary of the Navy, Paul Nitze, put the medal around my neck in the presence of my family and college friends and some of those who fought in Vietnam with me. We came together as a team that day. We overcame about 10-1 odds. You know, it's like on the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday, whose name do you see in the paper? The quarterback. You don't see the lineman's name. So I've worn this for 38 years now. Oh my gosh, 38 years. In honor of those corpsmen and young Marines that I had the opportunity to lead on the field of battle that day. And anytime I put this medal on, I think of them. And any actions that I do or decisions I make it in their name.
Yeah, goodness, man.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool that he got to get his Medal of Honor not in the White House, because that's where you think that they do it. Just during that time of that president's tenure, he decided to go down to his Marine base and give it to him there. That's freaking cool. So all of his like friends and family and platoon mates and all that stuff could be there. I had not heard that story before. That was really cool. When I chose that video for tonight, I just watched like the first 30-60 seconds of it, and I'm like, yes, this is a good video for tonight, and put it on the queue. And I didn't get to see that ending. I really liked it.
That's crazy how he said, "Oh yeah," and that's when he got shot for the 7th time. Oh, by the way, he lived.
Right. Yeah, he's like, oh, I don't mean to like put a sad face on you because he's fine. Like what?
Yeah. Geez.
But so he mentioned the Bangalores.
One thing though, I don't know if he said that Johnson was there. I think he said the secretary.
It was Secretary of Defense, right? Or
yeah, Secretary of the Navy or something.
Or yeah,
I don't think Johnson was there, so it was weird times.
He mentioned blowing up trees to make a flight zone.
Mm-hmm.
So we trained for that as combat engineers. There's a formula for the diameter of a tree, how many wraps of det cord we put around it to blow down a tree. And I've gotten to do that in training and in Afghanistan. It's fun blowing down trees.
Yep.
And
there's fun stuff.
Mark, we need a few trees taken down in our neighborhood here. Maybe you can stop by and.
I don't have any det cord anymore. But there's also another way. So any of you guys that are combat engineers watching this now or later know that there's a different way to blow down trees called an abattis, to where you put explosives only on one side to blow that out, so that the tree stays intact on one side, but it still is enough to blow the tree down. That way you create an obstacle to make trees block a road.
There you go. Yeah.
And so that's a lot of fun. I have not done that in Afghanistan. I only did that in training. But
hey, Sean,
that's awesome.
One word for you, Sean. It's called tannerite.
Yeah.
Yeah, tannerite's a thing.
It's fun.
Let's see. So chronologically, the month of December, the next thing is this fucking guy. So there's a lot of controversial on how this whole situation got handled. Hold on. It's not. Let's check the poll while this the next one is loading up and deciding what to do with its life because it's being stupid. Right now we're at 29% Army and Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force representing at 14%. Navy Marines at 43%. Dude, Navy Marines is coming in strong tonight.
I like it.
Other countries' militaries at 14%, tied with Air Force and Space Force.
I had to vote twice if I could.
That is one of the highest representations from other countries' military that we've had since kicking this off. That's really freaking cool. Appreciate you guys voting. If anybody watching right now hasn't voted yet, please do so.
I voted for the Marines and Navy because my dad was Navy and my cousin was a Marine. Actually, a couple of cousins were Marines. Me and my brother were Air Force. So,
gotcha. Man, I totally had this on a full screen earlier, and it's not giving me a full screen now. It's just giving me a study screen, and I don't like it, but I still want to talk about it. The month of December.
He ruled Iraq for decades and made the country's military stronger than ever. But in 2003, the U.S. invaded Iraq and Saddam Hussein suddenly vanished. No one knew where he had gone. The U.S. started a huge search to find him. To help find Saddam, the U.S. offered a reward of $25 million for his capture. They believed he was the key to ending the chaos. The search led them to his close friends and family. Eventually, they found his two sons, Uday and Quzai Hussein, hiding in a house in Mosul. When U.S. soldiers arrived, the brothers refused to give up. A fierce 4-hour fight broke out. Both sons were killed, but Saddam was still missing. It wasn't until many months later that a local fisherman, tempted by the big reward, gave a tip to the U.S. He told them about a small farmhouse near Tikrit, Saddam's hometown. When the soldiers searched the place, they found a tiny hole in the ground. They dug it open and found Saddam Hussein inside. He was dirty and confused, holding a small pistol, but he was weak and powerless. The man who once ruled Iraq with fear and strength was now hiding in a dirt hole, caught and finally found. He ruled Iraq.
All right, so it was in this month, December 12th, 2003, that Saddam Hussein was captured. And there have been some people that have talked about how he was absolutely diabolical. He was evil. He was a bad man. But he kept the Middle East in line because nobody was afraid of him. So taking him out of the top allowed a lot of other lesser worthy, crazy terrorist type people to rise.
I'm glad you said that, Mark, because that is accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. Taking him out gave us ISIS, among other things.
Yeah. It's not been a positive, that's for sure.
And so I'm just saying significant military history events in the month of December. I had to mention that because it was December 12th, 2003 that happened. Yes. All right, so the last video that I have queued for you guys tonight is a Medal of Honor recipient from a more recent conflict, global war on terrorism. Is this? Oh no, I hate the AI voices. I know, bro. I hate the AI voices. Sorry. Gaddafi was another. Yep, absolutely. So the last video I have queued for tonight, we're gonna have another discussion after this before we start getting into closing down. So more recent. Hold the phone.
At the White House today, a member of the elite SEAL Team 6 received the Medal of Honor. Because SEALs' missions are covert and usually highly classified, we rarely hear their names or see their faces. But today, one step forward. And NBC's Jim Miklaszewski has the incredible story of his bravery.
As a Navy SEAL, Senior Chief Ed Byers rarely emerges from the shadows. He's one of the silent warriors from SEAL Team 6, the special operations force that previously took down Osama bin Laden. But today, in a rare appearance, Byers was front and center at the White House, an American hero. In December 2012, the SEALs were on a mission to rescue American Dr. Dilip Joseph, taken hostage by the Taliban. As the SEAL team approached the Taliban hideout, gunfire exploded.
It was pitch black, and everything happens in a hostage rescue scenario happens really fast. So.
Petty Officer Nicholas Check was first through the door, was immediately shot and fatally wounded.
Nick died, a warrior's death. He died a true American hero.
Byers was seconds behind and took out the Taliban shooter.
He had a weapon about, level ready to shoot, and fortunately I was just quicker on the draw on that.
Byers spotted the hostage on the floor and threw himself on top of the American.
You were willing to take a bullet for that hostage?
That's our job, yes.
Byers then grabbed another Taliban fighter by the throat.
Just gave it enough time for my teammates to come in and get in position to take care of that threat.
In times of war or uncertainty, there's a special breed of warrior ready to answer our nation's call.
President Obama presented Byers with the Medal of Honor, which he accepted not for himself, but the entire SEAL community.
It's for the brotherhood. It's for everything that we have sacrificed since 9/11 in defense of our country.
Jim Miklashevsky, NBC News, the
NBC.
All right, so hold on. Let me.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mark, I need more context as to why he's Medal of Honor recipient.
Just for, so there's an American that's held hostage, and so they send in Navy SEALs to go rescue him, right?
Okay.
So they go to the building that this guy, the hostage is being held. An American citizen is being held hostage at this building. The first Navy SEAL that is the breacher, he's the first one in the number one man, right? He's the first one in the room. He gets shot up and fucking killed right there on the spot. And so the second guy, which is the guy who's the Medal of Honor recipient, Ed Byers, he comes in, he kills that guy, and then he recognizes the hostage that's laying on the ground. And so he dives onto the hostage using his body to cover the hostage while there's a gunfight that ensues. And so he's covering the hostage with his own body to make sure he gets shot and the hostage doesn't get shot. And there's another fucking bad guy wearing fucking pajamas and sandals that comes up to where he's at. And while he's covering the hostage, he reaches up and grabs that fucker by the neck and in a fucking manual grip chokehold, holds him there until one of his buddies can come over and give him some assistance in getting this bad guy under control and getting the hostage out and exfil him, right?
Yeah.
Total badassery. And so that happened in the month of December. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I thought that story was pretty crazy.
No.
And it also shows if you need a team to go in and do something and then get out, whether it's take out a high value target, an HVT, or it's extract a hostage or something, you do Navy SEALs, right? Mm-hmm. If you need a bunch of 20-year-olds that want to fucking kill everybody in the town to kick open doors, you send the Rangers, right? If you need a change in what is going on in that environment by some fucking warriors that can speak your language and recruit people to work with you, you send Green Berets. Mm-hmm. It's like people don't understand that different special forces units have different jobs for a reason.
Yep.
And I just think that's awesome. And that story right there really highlights part of that because Rangers and Green Berets wouldn't have been the right tool, whether it's a wrench, a screwdriver, or a hammer kind of a thing. People don't think of our special forces like that, but they really know what the fuck they're doing. And that's why a lot of other countries don't want anything to do with our special forces.
They don't want anything to do with our redneck. What are you talking about?
Mark, what's Delta's specialty?
I just mentioned Delta.
Did I? Sorry, I'm drinking.
Delta they have 12-man squads. There's 2 people of each profession. That way, there's not a single point of failure. And they will go into another country and know how to speak their language and know how to rally their forces to fight for their country so that our people don't have to go there and die for theirs.
There you go. Also, calm down, camera. I know he's sexy, but calm down.
I know it wants to be in my phone booth right here.
Yeah, Mark, I got a buddy that's ex-Delta.
Yeah.
December '89, invasion of Panama when they took out Noriega. I think we missed the Panama invasion.
Dude, awesome call out, Ben. The Panama is definitely a good call out. Absolutely.
Hey, that's Bill.
Roger that. So
yeah, I don't know if you know this, but Mark's been drinking too. Maybe we should take an extra water break at this moment.
We have all been drinking. Well,
yes, multiple of us have completely missed the move at this moment. I'm going to go for a little extra water.
I'm out of water. I need water. I'll be back in a second.
Everybody, please please take some time to hydrate. Hydration is key. Thank you, Eric Gunnarsson.
Maybe take an extra sip.
All right, so next up on the docket, after we drink about as much water as you need to drink, we're going to get into current day military news. And we're going to take a look at what is going on in current military news. Screen share. Uh, 300,000 drones. What? I have not looked at this ahead of time, so I'm watching it with you.
Okay.
Embark on the largest unmanned in history. This could deliver 300,000 small drones in the next several years. Yes, I think that seems definitely the next step, because all of us that watch war stuff on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that have seen a lot of drone footage from the conflict in Ukraine and Russia. The drones are just like throwing people around. And the drone operator is in no threat. And so, yeah, absolutely. So watching, current military things going on right now is drones are a big thing that we're looking at. Yeah, like I said, Ukraine, also that goes down to Gaza and the Middle East. That's something that we can expect to see more of in our military is stuff with drones.
For sure.
Yep, that makes total sense to me. Let's now, when we're talking about those countries abroad, let's see. Let's Google that. How many U.S. military are deployed right now?
4.
So we're still looking at like pretty much the same as last month, around 170 to 175,000 to over 170 different countries, and so pretty close to the same numbers we saw last month. There is just shy of 200,000 soldiers and other military members that are deployed right now that absolutely nobody else is talking about. Roger that.
Mm-hmm.
So as Joe would say, remember everybody deployed.
There you go.
Absolutely. Remember everybody deployed.
Cheers to those guys.
I'm just scrolling real quick on this militarynews.com to see if there's anything else And if you guys see anything that you think looks interesting, don't be shy to shout it out. I
have more of a question mark, but I'll let you get through.
No, go ahead, buddy. I'm looking for if there's any current topics that's when I look up military.com and they're talking about the current news stories, this is what they're showing.
Yeah.
And so if there's anything in here that we think is worth talking about, I want to talk about it. But my main complaint is a lot of this stuff that they're talking about when I go to military.com and look at what's going on in the military, what I just looked up, the 175,000 troops deployed right now, not one of these stories is about that or any of them.
Yeah.
And so I'm open to if anybody has anything else that it really strikes them of what's going on in the military right now.
Well, so kind of dovetailing the two things that you're talking about together. So we all know what's in the news right now.
Yeah.
And I guess my question is, from a strictly military perspective, like no politics involved at all, if you want to even discuss this, what are your thoughts on potential war crimes? Like just strictly,
the drug boats.
Yeah.
It's not a war crime.
Let's take all the politics out of it and just like from a military standpoint. And again, only if you want to talk about it.
No, wait. Are you talking about like the U.S. Coast Guard cracking down on people shuttling drugs into America?
Well, no. So, it's all over the news right now how supposedly, the double tap on the drug boats is somehow a war crime. Again, like if you're not up for talking about that, that's fine. I understand that. It's just it is military related and it's in the news. So I thought it was maybe like guys in the military might have some thoughts on that from their actual experience.
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can share this because I just Googled it right now because I haven't seen any of this. I put in the Google how military news drug boats war crime.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck off.
Yeah, so I follow a guy, Valhalla VFT, and I feel like he's done a pretty good job covering it. He's ex-Rangers, I want to say.
Boat floats off the coast of Venezuela before U.S. strike, suspected drug trafficking.
So they hit this boat coming from Venezuela. It killed 13 of like 15. There were two guys hanging on the side of it for like 40 minutes, like to the wreckage. And like 40 minutes later, they struck it again and got the last two. And people are trying to say that is,
somehow a war crime.
We don't
wait. So, dude, I see where they're going with that, and I'll tell you why. Because when they are hanging onto the side of the boat, trying to stay afloat, they are no longer a threat. Just like you remember the movie Hacksaw Ridge and stuff like that. An enemy combatant is wounded beyond the point of being able to fight, and so the medics will help them, just like in the movie The Patriot, right? In The Patriot, Mel Gibson's house was helping both sides. As long as the soldiers were not able to fight anymore, all you need is care. Like you are wounded beyond the point of being able to fight, and so you need care to save your life. And so that is the angle that they're going at this with.
Okay.
And I can see that. I can see why that is an issue, because if they have intelligence that tells you this is a drug cartel, they're somehow crossing that lines of we can take them out and exterminate them. Once you hit them, there's survivors just on that level to where they're trying to survive and they're no longer a threat, dude, that is really debatable. That's a good point. I appreciate you guys bringing that up because that lies in what I consider war stuff. That lies right there in that line of
what it comes down to.
If he's not a threat, can you really kill him? And I'll give you a real life scenario. So my second deployment, I'm going down a route with my platoon in eastern Afghanistan, and we see an explosion about 300 meters up the road ahead of us. And there's a slight curve, so we couldn't like have clear visual on it because there was a slight curve in the road. But when we move up there, we see there's a big dumb hole in the road. And we see there's two bodies to the left side of the hole. And we don't really know what's going on, so we want to pull over, get security of it. And so I'm on the dismount team. So I'm one of the first people that jump out. And I go up to do a battle damage assessment, a BDA. And I see a guy wearing, white. And he's got all kinds of dirt and blood on him. And I watch this guy take his last breaths. They're very effortful and heavy-hitted type breath, type breaths. And I see him take his last breath, and I was like, "Fuck!" That guy got perforated with all kinds of rocks and debris and stuff like that because there's all kinds of crazy holes in him. And then all of a sudden, my attention shifts to my right, where I see a guy crawling out of the hole that the explosion was, like the Grudge. To where one of his arms is completely obliterated and just mush, and one of his legs is as well. So he's got one good arm and one good leg that he's crawling out of the hole with, and his whole face is just gone. And he comes crawling out of the hole, and he's saying Allah, 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 and he goes to scratch his face, and his fingers just go inside his mouth and stuff, and it's weird.
Yeah, he's in shock.
My squad leader was like, "I'm not Allah." But anyways, so I asked my squad leader, I was like, "Hey, can I shoot this fucking guy because he's suffering? He's gonna die." And he was like, "No, you can't do that." I was like, "But he's clearly not gonna survive. So can I shoot him and put him out of his misery?" He's like, "No, he's not a threat. You cannot shoot him. Face out and pull security." I was like, "Okay, Roger." And the medics came up and took him back and drove him back. They put him on a bird, took him to another hospital, and they did what they could. They basically got good training out of him, right? There was no way that they were gonna this guy was gonna survive, but they did their efforts and they got good training out of it, right? So to make a short story really long, I see the angle that they're coming out of with this, to where they were clearly not a threat. They were just struggling to survive. So to shoot them at that point, was that really justified? That's very arguable.
So
can I?
You don't know how damaged they are, though. They could have just been concussed and holding on to wreckage.
Well,
and
they could have been
not bleeding out,
fine.
right?
They could have been completely fine and healthy. Or if they could grab a weapon, they'd shoot you with it.
So where does that lie then? Because if it took 30 minutes, assuming they assessed,
drone, right? Dude, a drone operator watching a screen in a different state, he has no way to tell that. So I see the argument. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and plus, you're looking through infrared cameras, and it's not.
So, two questions. One, for the incident you were a part of, was that some bad guys laying IEDs and screwed up?
Yes, they were placing an IED in the road ahead of us because they wanted to blow us up. But you know about IEDs, that there's 5 parts to an IED. You have the casing, you've got the main charge, you've got the trigger, you've got the power source. And if you hook up the trigger while the power source is active to the main charge while it's in the casing,
kaboom!
It's just going to fucking blow up. So if you've got a victim operated IED, which is like a pressure switch kind of thing, or if you have a command operated IED to where it's like a push button from a guy that's watching you or whatever the case may be, they were hooking it up and placing it in the road, and they did something wrong, and they blew themselves up.
I just wanted to confirm that it was bad guys, not us.
Oh yeah, no, 100% bad guys.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. Second was the guys floating or whatever. The whole thing is, I mean, the whole thing is it's twofold, like you're saying, the mercy killing, because they're floating in the middle of the ocean. They're not doing anything but becoming shark food, probably.
Yeah, they're not going to swim back.
Yeah, and then, but second is, and the reason they did it is the boats they knew were laden with hundreds, if not thousands, of pounds of coke and fentanyl and other shit.
Yeah,
so that's the thing. They wanted to make sure the drugs were gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had clearance to stop the vessels.
Yes.
But the argument is what he's talking about, Geneva Conventions, which we as Americans are held to rules that other countries are not held to.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like how many people will those drugs kill?
I mean, well, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I have strong thoughts on this, but there is this narrative out there. This is all I will say, that these are innocent people. That is the farthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I put it all under FAFO.
There you go. I agree.
So there's been something like 15 boats hit, like something like 80 killed overall. These aren't just fishing boats.
Need to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, these aren't just fishing boats that they're trying to make them out to be, dude.
Yeah, so you know what they learned this time? You got to wait for the smoke to clear and shoot again before you fly away.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If it took 40 minutes, did they not like assess it and be like, okay, this is a credible threat? Fucking get rid of the wreckage, get rid of these guys, or
Well, I mean, so a couple things, and I believe our military guys could probably give us some better insights into this. I'm just guessing based on hypothesizing. Could have taken a while for the smoke to clear. Could have taken a while for the plane that's actually doing the shots, or wherever the shots are coming from, to have clear shots again. I imagine there's a lot of factors that go into how long it takes to make that second shot, worth taking, I guess you'd say.
Yes. Troy, Baker Drinks, do you have any weigh in on this?
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if somebody else was in the White House, how much we would be outraged over this. Wasn't it Obama that had like thousands of drone strikes?
Oh, on Yemen, when he annihilated Yemen?
All without congressional approval.
Yeah.
Or I thought you were going to bring up the 4 Navy sailors that were held captive under Obama's care, and all he did was give Iran a couple $1 million to give him back.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of double standards at play.
Okay.
I mean, so all politics aside, these narco organizations have been named officially as terrorists.
Yeah,
they should be.
Which gives certain authority to the president to do strikes outside of Congress declaring war. So
isn't there a bounty on Maduro's head?
Whether or not the double tap was justified, I don't know. There's a lot of context missing. So the way the media likes to spin these things is to play to, Trump is this insane, person that has no business being in the White House, and they're going to make every little thing seem super extreme.
Yeah.
We don't know any context on this. It's black and white footage without audio.
Well, and there's also that armchair quarterback thing. We're sitting here getting the play-by-play, but we're not actually out there on the field seeing. We're not responding to it as it's happening.
Now I think about World War II, the Marines in the South Pacific. They're clearing Japanese machine gun nests in Iwo Jima or something like that. Are they doing health and welfare checks on a machine gun nest after they throw grenades into it? Are they running up and shooting everybody that's left in it?
Absolutely not.
So it's the same kind of thing. We've got this targeted outrage because of who's in the White House, versus what the actual authority is and what can be done. So, you know, I take all of this outrage with a grain of salt. Should we be over off the coast of Venezuela picking a fight with Maduro and his regime? I don't think so, but I'm not running the country, and I have very little context as to what led us over there.
Yeah.
I have thoughts and opinions, but again, I'm missing a lot of the information that the experts have.
Troy, I also want to kind of build off that real quick, Sean. Give me a sec. It's just we don't know what intelligence they had on who was on that boat. We don't know what level of dangerous. We don't know what level of dangerous SOBs were on that boat.
That's very true. They could have had a profile on every person on there.
Well, so, you know, Ben, to that point, and this is kind of my area, someone in a different group text that I'm involved with said that these are low-level guys.
Probably.
No, they're not.
No.
That's not how this works.
They're entrusted with a ton of money.
You don't get
Tim,
to
have
move,
a good night, buddy. Thanks for hanging out.
You don't get to move that amount of drugs if you're just a new guy.
All right. Good night, Tim.
You have done a lot of things to prove yourself to be entrusted with that amount of drugs.
Yep,
because you could just as easily drive that boat somewhere else and sell it yourself. So these guys have been in this organization long enough that they were entrusted to move this amount of drugs across the ocean. These are not new guys. There's zero chance that that's true.
One of the last things I was doing when I was in the Air Force was I was on an island off the coast of Honduras, and in support of we were busting drug planes. Yeah, they were flying from like Honduras and other spots, and they were flying in drugs. And I was working with the radar and stuff like that, and they were finding these people and then forcing the planes down.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, this, because this is a narrative that's also on social medias and main medias, and that's just not true. Like,
the media, you can't believe shit out of the media.
You don't just like join a drug cartel and then the next day you're just moving that kind of weight across the ocean. That's not how this works.
Sure.
Right.
Well, and they're not fishermen.
Yeah, they're definitely not fishing.
Roger that.
We're just out here catching some tuna. Come on.
I mean, more than likely, the guys on these boats have like killed whole families because they were instructed to. So let's start with this idea that these are innocent people.
No, they're
All right.
not.
So right now, I'm going to call attention to the formation. Everybody that's here watching live, let me know in the chat that you are here watching live so I can put you on the wheel so you can win a sample of the veteran-owned whiskey of the month, Hotel Tango Rye 100 proof rye whiskey. That is our featured veteran whiskey veteran-owned whiskey of the month. And so if you want to get a sample, I'm going to put you in to the wheel of names.
Bourbon tasting, that's not how it works.
They're not going to entrust low-level people to run $1 million worth of drugs.
It's more than $1 million.
Well, I'm just saying, in general, but.
Mark, have you seen On Your Six whiskey before?
No.
No, Northwest.
On Your Six?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm writing that down. So I have right down here the Don Ross to look up later. And so on the bottom.
I texted you a video on that, Mark, and I put one in the private chat, so you can watch it at your leisure.
Okay.
I tried it at I took a picture of the bottle. I'll send it to you. I tried it at Total Wine. It was like a couple-year-old Barton what I tried. They probably have a different offering, but I noticed it was veteran-owned, so I took a picture.
Okay. Yeah, you guys across the pond. I can't send you guys anything. I'm still in the Army. I'm not gonna risk getting in trouble for sending stuff across the pond.
There you go.
What they need to do, I was thinking about this. What we need to get them to do is make friends with deployed people overseas. You know, go hang out in bars around bases or whatever, because then we could send stuff to what do you call it? What do you call those mail addresses when they're
APO?
Yeah, APOs. There you go. I was thinking that would work.
Possibly.
Right. All right, let's see. Who do I not have here? There's a bunch of you guys still watching, but I only have 12 entries. So there's a lot of you guys watching that have not shouted out. I've got, Ben from the north and James Morgan from across the pond. I'm not sending anything overseas because I don't want to get in that kind of trouble. I'm not.
Did you get Bourbon Taster?
Yeah, Bourbon Tasting is red.
CJ
Okay, that's why I can't read it. Got it. Corey just chimed in. He's here.
Corey's here.
CJP.
Appreciate you being here, Corey.
Gerard.
I've got Gerald on there. Gerald, sorry. Wait, did I spell that all fucked up?
Probably.
Z-Man's in chat.
Z-Man's here. Holy guacamole.
He was watching Cops, dude. He's all sweaty right now.
Got them all hot and bothered right now.
Remember Step Brothers? Like, why are you so sweaty? He's like, I was watching Cops.
That's so ridiculous.
Did you touch my drum set?
Let's see. Let's change Sean's color point. Trying to get a little more evenicity on the wheel. It's not giving me the randomness that I usually like.
It's a good looking red, white, and blue wheel.
Yeah. Dude, Betsy Ross will be proud right now.
Oh, gee. All right, so winners. There's going to be 2 winners tonight. You are going to get a sample of the Hotel Tango 100 proof rye ready to drink. That is an homage to the MRE packages saying meal ready to eat, which I think is hilarious. Plus, if you go to the Hotel Tango website that I put in the description below, you'll see that they have on their website, they are the first combat wounded veteran-owned distillery.
Oh.
It's a weird brag.
A distinct brag.
EG or Troy?
Troy, I will happily give you a sample.
Nice. Congratulations, Troy.
I'll happily accept one.
And secondly, is that
great shot, dude? Yeah.
Oh,
Dennis! Congratulations.
Still cool.
That only is great because Dennis, I already have a flight I've put together for you that I haven't sent out yet, and so
perfect.
I'm just gonna add that one to your flight.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Absolutely, that is
Now,
freaking awesome.
If it was Scotch, Mark would be throwing a fit right now.
I know. Exactly.
I just thought 2 vets were about to win, and I was like, "Yes, dude, this is."
Dude, that'd be
So cool with Dennis one, but when I saw it was about to be 2 vets, I was like, "Fantastic!"
It was really close. It was really close.
That much.
I mean, Dennis has to live in Ohio, so I mean, it's kind of close.
Oh well, shit.
So great shot. I'm sure you have my contact info, northwestbourbon@gmail.com, and you have me on Instagram. If there's a flight you want with a pure veteran flight of just veteran whiskeys, I'd be happy to send you anything. Just shoot me a request, my friend.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, just let me know what you would want to try, and I'll freaking send it to you 100%. But that's going to close it down for the evening. if we do a quick recap on what we've talked about tonight. Tonight, the veteran-owned whiskey featured December 2025 Hotel Tango Rye, which I've said 18 times so far. We honored the fallen. We raised a glass to those that that went before us. They're no longer here. So we honored the fallen, and we talked about military history. World War I, No Man's Land. World War II, Pearl Harbor Day, Fall of Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
And the Battle of the Bulge. We talked about some Medal of Honor recipients and other great stories along the way with historical news for December. Space Force and the Army National Guard both have their birthdays in December. And in current military news, we've got drones, we've got drugs, and we still have 175,000 military personnel deployed right now. So before we play taps, we're going to close out the poll that is telling us which branch is most represented tonight. So let's do a refresh on that screen. And we've got 30% Army Coast Guard, 16% Air Force, Space Force, 41% Navy Marines. The Navy and the Marines represented strongest tonight. Navy and Marines, congratulations. You guys are the winners tonight. Other countries' military coming in at a strong fourth place at 14%. I appreciate all you guys voting. I am ending the poll so you guys can see it in the chat right now.
My grandfather would be proud.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate all you guys voting, especially that 14% of y'all that are from other countries' military. I can't thank you enough for being here.
That's the highest yet.
It's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, no, maybe not right now. Maybe we don't talk about them right now.
And so we're going to close out with taps. If any of you guys watching us live want to join in to some backstage shenanigans where we get a little bit looser around the collar, if you know what I'm saying. If any of you guys want to join us backstage, you are more than welcome to join us backstage. But we are going to close off with taps, as we always do.